Okay, so one of the things that new consultants are most worried about always is stripe testing for foundation. How do I know what shade of foundation to put on someone, and what if I get the wrong shade? So it's pretty foolproof. You have to actually put the product on someone's face to be able to see whether it matches her or not. Now I have been using our new CC creams, which are probably the easiest stripe test that you've ever done, which is so wonderful. And I give them the choice of the CC cream or our mineral powder foundation. I do not use liquid foundation at my first appointment simply because I've learned that for new consultants it can be very intimidating and difficult to stripe test. And so these are the two that I choose. So what I will always say to my guests as they come in is, I have two choices for foundation. Would you rather use a CC cream, which is like a tinted moisturizer, or our mineral powder foundation? And usually they'll just tell you one or the other, and if they're unsure, I'll usually just recommend that they do the CC cream because it's very simple and easy. Okay, so when you stripe test someone, you always want to stripe test them on the jaw, and I stripe test immediately when they walk into the room. I do not wait until the middle of the party, because if you get the party going and then you have to stop and stripe test, you completely lose the momentum of the group and it's total chaos. And if it's a large group, you may never regain it. People might leave, they just will be gone. And so with your CC cream, you just simply take it, pump a tiny, tiny bit on your finger, and then right along the jawline, just smooth it right in, and it will disappear into her skin if it's the correct shade. So very, very simple. Now, it's pretty easy. If you have bronze skin, you're using deep. I mean, basically, unless you're a very light bronze. So we have 4 shades. We have deep. We have our, I'm going to go in order so that I don't mess them up. The medium to deep, the light to medium, and then the very light. And so I really just put it on. Now, the reason I do it when they first walk in and don't have them wash their face first is because a lot of women don't necessarily like their foundation to match. Now, as strange as that seems, if you have someone who comes in and her foundation is darker than her skin, and then you match her perfectly with a very light CC cream, she is not going to like it, because that is not how she likes her foundation, for the most part, if she's got an opinion. Now, sometimes I'll try to ease her into the correct shade, because I do want her to match. I don't want her to wear the wrong shade. But you can tell how someone likes her makeup. If she comes in all glammed up and she's got on a darker foundation, you don't want to do a really light foundation on her or the wrong shade. So that would be more with your ivory or beige customers especially. A lot of ivory women, for some reason, don't want to be ivory. So just whatever that means. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to come over here to Erin and show you how to stripe test for our mineral powder. So very similar. I would say that if you have someone with ivory skin or beige skin, a great starting place is always ivory 2. If you want to just start and then go lighter or darker, you can do that. And so I'm going to start and show you with ivory 2 so that you can see how I stripe test. The very same thing, I just take my mineral powder like this, take a little bit on my finger, and then I just run it right along her jawline and see if it blends in. And if it kind of sits there, I'll be like, let me try a different one. It's not uncommon or bad for me to put 3 or 4 shades on someone. I would rather do that and get it right than not get it right and just do one. So I'm going to use ivory 1 on Erin. The main thing I would say about stripe testing for foundations is with your mineral powder and with your CC cream, it's pretty easy. You're not going to have a really, really hard time, and you're probably not going to make a huge screw up. The best thing to do is just go around to every person you know. Just say, hey, I'm going to stripe test you, and practice. Just put it on. Do it to your husband, do it to your kids. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're just putting a line on. It's not permanent. And just keep practicing that until you learn. You start to see nuances. Like, I'll start to be able to see when Erin walks in, that's an ivory 1. I can see that just without even stripe testing her, but that's just from practice and experience. But these 2 kinds of foundation are the most simple and easy way to stripe test. So that is stripe testing foundations.